All right, so we're going deep today into Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Their incredible win over Man City in the Champions League, 3-1.
right.
A lot of people obviously want to unpack this match, what happened.
Of course.
And we're going way beyond just the headlines and the basic stuff.
Deeper.
Yeah, we're going to try to figure out like what this really means for Real Madrid and for the Champions League and for everybody.
Big picture.
Exactly, yeah. We've got a really interesting stack of sources for this one.
Oh, cool.
We've got a bunch of YouTube videos from Sean Fertol's channel,
Okay.
and he does some really fantastic tactical breakdowns.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff. He's great.
Yeah, so let's dive in and see what we can uncover.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So I've been looking at these, and one thing that really jumps out is just how many of these analysts are saying that Real just completely dismantled City.
Wow.
Which is crazy because City, they're known for being like the tactical masters under Guardiola.
That's true.
But it was like Real Madrid just had their number.
Yeah, it was like they knew
You exactly what was coming.
exactly what City was going to do, yeah. And all the tactics are super interesting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, you can't ignore Mbappé. He had a hat trick.
Oh, yeah.
It's like everybody's calling it, he's back.
He's back.
He's at peak form again.
Redemption arc.
Total redemption arc. So what are these analysts saying about, how he pulled that off?
Well, they're saying that Mbappe was basically just living in the space behind City's back line.
Okay.
Because, City, they play this really high line.
Right.
So he was always finding that space, making these really smart runs and timing everything perfectly. So he was always ready to receive those killer passes.
That makes sense.
He was finishing with, like, ridiculous precision.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been so fast, but
Fast.
it seems like he was doing more than that.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely using his brain, too.
It's like a tactical understanding
Absolutely.
of City's, like, flaws or weaknesses.
For sure.
Yeah, and the Bernabeu crowd,
Oh, my God.
when he subbed him out, they were going crazy.
Electric.
Yeah.
I bet.
So let's move on a little bit to like Real Madrid as a whole, their tactical, approach.
Yeah.
I mean, they're counterattacking.
Oh, my God. It was like a machine.
It was working so well.
Textbook. So these videos break it all down, and it's like Real would pull City forward on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, just suck them in, and that left these huge gaps in their defense.
No, I see.
And then, guys like Asensio and Valverde would just launch these pinpoint passes like right into that space.
Wow.
Perfectly weighted.
Yeah.
And then you've got guys like Mbappe and Vinicius just waiting to pounce.
Like they knew exactly where to be.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's interesting, they're playing this 4-4-2,
I know, right?
which I don't think we see a lot from them,
Not really.
but it seems like it was super effective for those counterattacks.
Oh, absolutely. The sources are all over that. They're saying that Real Madrid was able to stay really solid defensively with those two banks of four.
Okay.
But then when they won the ball back, they just had the perfect numbers to launch those quick attacks.
Yeah, it's like a solid foundation
Solid.
to build those attacks from.
Exactly.
And then when you look at the attack itself, I mean, Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, they were just switching positions all the time.
Nightmare for the defenders.
It must have been so confusing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these videos are saying that City just couldn't settle into any kind of defensive shape.
Wow.
They were always guessing, and that created all these gaps that Real just exploited.
Yeah, and you can't forget Ceballos and Valverde. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
individually, they were so good
Crucial.
in both attack and defense.
Beasts.
Yeah. All right, so let's flip the script a little bit and talk about Guardiola.
Okay.
There's been a lot of talk about his tactical decisions in this match.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people questioning them.
Second guessing.
Yeah, did you see anything in those videos that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is that he kind of went away from his usual style.
Really?
Yeah, he usually plays this possession-based game, right?
Right.
But in this match, he went with a more defensive 4-4-2, which is pretty unusual for him.
Interesting.
It seems like he was trying to contain Real Madrid, which is not really his style.
Yeah, and of course, they were missing some key players like De Bruyne and Diaz.
For sure.
But do you think that's the only reason they lost, or do you think Guardiola actually made some bad calls?
I think it's a bit of both.
Okay,
I mean, City still has tons of talent even without De Bruyne,
true.
but Guardiola's choices seem to really stifle their creativity.
Interesting.
Like they just couldn't play their natural game.
So are you saying that maybe Guardiola overthought it
Yeah, maybe.
and kind of ended up playing into Real Madrid's hands?
That seems to be what a lot of these analysts are saying. They're arguing that his attempts to counter Real's strengths actually ended up helping them.
Wow.
Like the defensive approach just left them wide open to those counterattacks.
That's fascinating. So it's like,
It's wild.
while Real Madrid is figuring out City's weaknesses, Guardiola's over here accidentally
No.
creating those weaknesses himself.
It's crazy. It's like he solved the puzzle for them.
Exactly. Yeah, and that just makes this win even more massive for Real Madrid.
Oh, yeah.
Because it wasn't just about individual brilliance.
No.
It was about this, like, perfectly executed game plan.
It's like they dismantled City piece by piece.
Exactly.
And now a lot of these videos are saying that Real Madrid is back.
Oh, wow.
Like they're a serious contender for the title again.
Wow. Okay, so we've already uncovered some really interesting stuff just in this first dive into these videos.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We've got the tactical brilliance behind Real's win, Mbappe's like total resurgence, and then all these questions about Guardiola.
Yeah, what was he thinking?
I know, right? But this is just the beginning.
Just scratching the surface.
We've got so much more to unpack.
Oh, yeah.
Like individual performances, long-term implications for both teams.
Big picture stuff.
Exactly. And we'll get into all of that in the next segment. But for now, let's give a shout out to Jean Foutal and his YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
His analysis has been super helpful.
He's the best.
Yeah, he really breaks things down in a way that's easy to understand.
For sure.
All right, so we'll be back soon with part 2.
Can't wait.
Where we'll dive even deeper into these videos. Stay tuned.
Sounds good. Okay, so we're back, and you know, it's interesting. Looking at these videos, some of them are actually pointing out Real Madrid's weaknesses.
Really?
Even after that win against City.
I mean, they looked pretty unstoppable to me. What are they talking about?
Well, a lot of them are talking about their performance in La Liga this season. It hasn't been as impressive.
Right, they've been kind of inconsistent.
Exactly. And some analysts are even saying that maybe their Champions League form is like a completely different thing.
Oh, so like they're a cup team.
Yeah, maybe. And some of them are even connecting this to their La Liga struggles, like maybe they lost the title race early on and it kind of freed them up.
Mentally.
Yeah, exactly. Like they don't have that pressure anymore, so they can just focus on the Champions League.
I see. So it's like they channeled all their energy and frustration into this one competition.
Right. And now they've beaten City, so their confidence must be through the roof.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of confidence, Mbappé, I mean, talk about a redemption arc.
Total redemption.
He was getting so much criticism earlier this season, and now...
He's back with a vengeance.
Yeah, it's like this win was a vindication for him.
Absolutely. And the timing couldn't be better. The knockout stages are where legends are made.
Yeah, he's definitely on the right track, and he's got Vinicius Jr. right there with him.
Oh, yeah. They're a dynamic duo.
They are, like, unstoppable on those flanks.
Seriously. Any defender would have nightmares about facing them.
Yeah, they can switch positions, cut inside, create chances out of nowhere. It's
phenomenal.
It really is. But, okay, you know, we have to ask the question.
The big one.
Yeah, who's more important for Real Madrid's future, Mbappé or Vinicius Jr.?
Ooh, that is a tough one.
I know, right? It's like choosing between two Ferrari.
I know, but these videos, they actually have some pretty strong arguments for both sides.
Okay, what's
So some commentators are saying that Mbappe is just on another level when it comes to scoring those big goals.
Okay.
Especially in like those crucial matches like the one against City.
Right, and his Champions League record is...
insane.
Yeah, okay. What about Vinicius Jr.? What makes him so special?
Well, some are saying that he has the same potential as Mbappe.
Okay.
And it's too early to say who's better. They say that Vinicius is incredible at drawing defenders and creating chaos.
Right, which opens up space for his teammates.
Exactly, including Mbappe.
So it's like they work so well together.
It's not just about individual brilliance, it's about how they complement each other.
That's a good point. And these videos are also saying that it's not just about talent either.
Oh, yeah.
It's about Real Madrid's collective spirit.
Right. They're fighting for each other.
Exactly. And that's huge in a competition like this.
Absolutely. You can't win the Champions League without that team unity.
And speaking of team unity, you can't forget the veterans like Modric, Benzema, Cruz.
Oh, yeah. The old guard.
I mean, their experience and leadership must be so valuable for the younger players.
Invaluable. They've seen it all. They know how to handle the pressure.
Exactly. It's like they're passing down the torch to the next generation.
Yeah. And they're doing a damn good job of it.
So Real Madrid's got the talent, the tactics, the experience, and now the belief. It really seems like this could be their year.
It's definitely looking good, but these videos are also saying that the Champions League is a marathon, not a sprint.
True.
There's still a long way to go.
Yeah, and the competition's only going to get tougher from here.
Exactly. They're going to be facing some of the best teams in the world.
Okay, so let's talk about Manchester City. What's the reaction been like to their defeat?
Well, it's a mix of emotions.
Yeah, I bet.
There's disappointment, frustration, even a bit of panic among the fans.
I mean, they're not used to losing.
Not like this, no.
Especially after being so dominant for so long.
Right, it's like this defeat really shook them.
And some people are even saying that maybe the Guardiola magic is wearing off.
Yeah, especially in the Champions League.
Interesting.
They're saying that maybe he overtrot things in this match and it backfired.
It's easy to second guess when things don't go your way.
For sure, but a lot of these analysts are saying that Guardiola needs to find some solutions.
Adapt.
Exactly, if they want to stay on top.
And maybe even make some changes to the squad.
Yeah, they're saying he might need some reinforcements.
Like this loss exposed some
Some
weaknesses.
cracks in the armor.
Exactly, and they're going to need to figure things out if they want to come back stronger next season.
Absolutely, they can't afford to stay complacent.
Okay, so we've talked about the match itself, but some of these videos are also talking about the media environment in Spain.
Ah, yes, the Spanish media, always a fun topic.
Right, and it seems like it's a pretty hostile environment for Real Madrid.
Oh, yeah, especially from the Barcelona and Atletico Madrid fans.
Yeah, what are they saying specifically?
Well, a lot of Real Madrid fans are saying that they're constantly targeted by negative coverage.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying that the media is always accusing them of getting preferential treatment from referees.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, and even corruption.
Wow, so it's like a conspiracy theory.
Kind of, but it's important to remember that these are just accusations.
Right.
And there are other perspectives, too.
Of course.
Some people are saying that these accusations are just a way for Real Madrid to deflect criticism.
Avoid accountability.
Exactly, and that every team gets bad calls from referees sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. It's just part of the game.
Right, and Real Madrid fans are maybe just being a little sensitive.
So it's a really polarized situation?
Extremely polarized. You've got Real Madrid fans on one side and everyone else on whatever.
And it sounds like it's just as intense in the media as it is on the pitch?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground in this
Yeah.
segment. We've talked about Real Madrid's potential vulnerabilities,
The Mbappé-Vinicius debate
the fallout.
from City's defeat, and the crazy world of Spanish football media.
Exactly, and we've only scratched the surface.
There's still so much more to discuss.
We'll be back with part 3, where we'll wrap up this deep dive into Real Madrid's Champions League journey.
Don't miss it.
All right, so we're back, and we were talking about how polarized the media is around Real Madrid.
Right, right.
And it feels like, that tension extends to the refs, too.
Oh, yeah, the refereeing.
You always hear people complaining about,
Bias.
bias, yeah. And it's like a hot topic,
Huge topic.
especially with a club like Real Madrid. So what are these sources saying about the refereeing?
Well, a lot of Real Madrid fans, they're saying they're always getting the short end of the stick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they feel like the refs are always against them.
Okay.
Inconsistent calls, missed penalties, that kind of thing.
I mean, I can see how that would be super frustrating, especially in the Champions League.
Oh, for sure, the stakes are so high.
Oh, for sure, the stakes are so high. Yeah, every single call can completely change the game.
Absolutely.
But is there maybe another side to this story?
Well, some commentators are saying that Real Madrid's just using this as an excuse.
Okay.
Like a way to deflect criticism.
No, they don't play well.
Exactly. They're saying every team gets bad calls sometimes.
Right. It's just part of the game.
And maybe Real Madrid fans are just a little bit more vocal about it.
They do have a pretty passionate fan base.
Yeah, for sure. But some of these videos also talk about the pressure on the referees.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
I mean, Real Madrid is a global giant.
Huge.
Tons of fans, media influence.
Right.
And that can be pretty intimidating for a ref.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to make those calls when
The whole world is watching.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the football itself. What are some of the challenges, Real Madrid might face going forward in the Champions League?
Well, one thing that these videos keep bringing up is consistency. They've been a little up and down this season,
That's true.
and they can't afford any slip-ups if they want to win the whole thing.
Yeah, they're going to have to be at their best every single match.
Absolutely. And the opponents are only going to get tougher from here.
Right. They're going to be facing the best of the best.
The elite.
So they're going to need to be prepared for some serious tactical battles.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And don't forget about the physical demands of the competition.
Right. It's a long road to the final.
Grueling.
And staying healthy is going to be key.
Huge.
Avoiding injuries, managing fatigue.
Yeah, squad depth is going to be crucial.
Yeah, they're going to need to rotate players, make sure everyone's fresh.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this has been a really fascinating deep dive.
I know.
We've covered so much.
Tons of stuff.
The tactics, the media, the refereeing.
It's amazing how much there is to unpack.
Yeah, and it's clear that Real Madrid's journey is full of,
Twists and sins.
Exactly. But it's going to be exciting to see what happens next.
Definitely.
So huge thanks to Sean Futol and his YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, he's the man.
His videos were super helpful.
So insightful.
And for everyone listening, definitely check out his channel if you want to learn more.
You won't regret it.
All right, so that wraps up our deep dive into Real Madrid's Champions League journey. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
Hello. If you are listening to this, you may not be subscribed to the channel. Activate the bell so that they will notify you when there is a new story and share it with the people you want. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.